What's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday to you. It is so great to see you here today, and really appreciate you checking out this video and subscribing to my channel. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Now, we have a lot of games to go through here in college basketball. No more time to waste. A lot of obscure games, so let's get into it. First game I'm going to cover here is Monmouth at Hofstra. All starts Eastern Standard Time on this program. Hofstra opened 15 down to 14.5. Totals at 141. Now, Monmouth is just 1-8 against the spread overall. Meanwhile, Hofstra is covering 88% of their games overall for the year. They're also, covering 80% of their games, laying the points. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase a hook, buy it down, and take Hofstra minus 14, getting the job done against the number. Next game, Brown-Butler. That is at Butler. Butler's opened up 17 up to 18.5. Total open 140.5 up to 143 and a hook. Brown is just 2-6 to the over for the year, 25% to the over away from home. Meanwhile, on the Butler side of things, they're just 28% to the over overall for the year, 2-5 to the over overall. So give me the under 143.5 in that one. Next game, Mercer, FAU. The Owls of Florida Atlantic open the betting as the 1-point favorite. They're now -2. Total open 140 up to 141. Mercer is just 1-5 to the over overall for the year. They're also just 25% to the over in their games away from home. Meanwhile, on the FAU side of things, just three out of their 6 games for the year got over the total as well. So with that said, I'm going to lean under. Give me the under 141 in that one. Next game, North Texas at Indiana State. Indiana State was -2. They're now -1.5. Total open 133 up to 134 and a hook. North Texas is just 2-4 against the spread overall. They failed to cover in 3 out of their last 4, taking on teams winning less than 50% of their ball games. Very bizarre stat there. Meanwhile, on the Indiana State side of things, they're 4-1 against the spread overall for the year and a perfect 2-0 against the spread in their games at home. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the hook, buy it down, and take Indiana State -1, getting the job done against the number. All right, next game, Akron at Purdue-Fort Wayne. Akron opened the betting as the 3.5-point favorite. They're now -3. Totals at 149. Akron's 5-2 against the spread overall for the year. They're covering 75% of their ball games away from home. Meanwhile, on the Purdue-Fort Wayne side of things, they failed to cover in 6 out of their 8 ball games for the year. They're also a winless 0-3 against the spread on their home court. So with all that said and done, give me Akron -3, getting the job done on the road. Next game, William Mary, Old Dominion. That's going to go down at Old Dominion. ODU open 10, now -9. Total open 139, down to 138. William and Mary is just 3-5 against the spread overall for the year. They're covering just 25% of their games away from home. Meanwhile, on the ODU side of things, they're 5-3 against the spread overall for the year. They're also a perfect 4-0 against the number in their games on their home court. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean ODU -9, getting the job done at home. All right, next game, VCU at Texas. Texas opened the betting as the 8.5-point favorite in that matchup there. Total at 134.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing steady movement toward Texas. Not so much movement on the total. Total remains the same. But once again, the Longhorns opened to 8.5, now 10. Total opened and remains at 134 and a hook. Now, VCU is 7-1 to the under so far for the season. They're also 67% to the under in their games on the road. Meanwhile, on the Texas side of things, very similar story. Very similar song and dance. They're 6-1 to the under overall themselves. 4-0 to the under in their games on their home court. So with all that said and done, I'm not really interested in making a play on the sides, although I do like a play on the total. I'm going to lean toward the under 134.5 in this one. All right, next game, Temple, Villanova. Villanova. That game is going to go down at Villanova. The Wildcats open the betting as the 10-point favorite, and the total at 138.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a significant fade of Villanova in the early wagering. We're also seeing steady movement upward on the total. Right now, Villanova is minus 8.5, with the total moving all the way up to 142. So once again, Villanova open minus 10, down to minus 8.5. Total open 138 and a hook, up to 142 even. Now, Temple is just 37% to the over overall for the season. 3 out of their 4 games away from home stayed under the total as well. Meanwhile, on the Villanova side of things, they're 6-2 to the under overall for the year. 3 out of their 4 home games stayed under the total as well. So with all that said and done, not really concerned about making a play on the total. Nova opened up as the double-digit favorite and has since gotten faded. But I do like play on the total, so give me the under 142 in that matchup there. All right, next game, Utah State, BYU, Battle of the Mormons. BYU opened the betting as, actually it opened as a pick'em contest. Total opened at 160.5. And since those markets opened this one up, the Brigham Young Cougars are taking a little money when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement upward on the total. Right now, BYU is -1 with the total moving upward to 161.5. So once again, BYU opened as a pick, now -1. Total open 160.5, up to 161 and a hook. Now, Utah State, one of the best covering teams in all of basketball. They're 7-1 against the spread overall for the year. They're covering 75% of their ball games on the road. Meanwhile, on the Brigham Young side of things, they failed to cover in 6 out of their 9 games overall for the year. They're also failing to cover in 5 out of their 8 games when laying the points. Now, scoring-wise, Utah State is 6-2 to the over for the year, 4-0 to the over in their games on the road. BYU 5-4 to the over overall for the year. So with all that said and done, I'm going to take an underdog in this one. Give me Utah State +1 and the over 161.5 in that one. Next game, Nebraska, Minnesota. That one's going down in Minnesota. Nebraska opened the betting as the 3-point favorite and the total at 138. Since those markets opened this one up, not a whole lot of movement on the spread, although we are seeing significant movement on the total. Right now, that total moved up to 140.5. So once again, Nebraska opened and remains -3. Total open 138, up to 140 and a hook. Now Nebraska, very good covering team as well. One of the best in college basketball. They're 7-1 ATS overall. They've also successfully covered the number in 6 out of their last 7 when laying the points. Now Minnesota, they're just 4-4 ATS overall for the year. They failed to cover in 2 out of their last 3, catching the points. Now, scoring-wise, Minnesota 4-4 to the under overall for the year. Nebraska 7-1 to the under in their games overall for the season themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Nebraska -3, getting the job done on the road, and the under 140.5 in that one. All right, next game. We got 4 more to go. We're going to bang through these real quick, guys. UNC Wilmington at UNC. That is going to go down at the University of North Carolina, the Tar Heels. The Tar Heels opened the betting as the 26-point favorite and the total at 158.5. And since those markets opened this one up, no real surprises here as the Tar Heels are taking money when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement upward on the total as well. Once again, UNC opened 26, now 27.5. Total open 168.5 up to 169 even. Now, UNC Wilmington, 5-3 to the over overall for the year, 75% to the over in their games on the road. Meanwhile, on the Tar Heels side of things, they're 7-1 to the over in their games overall for the year. A lot of action in their ball games. They're also a perfect 3-0 to the over in their games on their home court. So with all that said, I'm not real interested in laying nearly 28 points when it comes to spread. But I do like a play on the total. I like some scoring in this one. Give me the over, 169 in that matchup there. All right, next game, Arkansas, Colorado State. Arkansas opened the betting as the 6.5-point favorite. They're now -7. Total open 156.5 up to 158. Arkansas is 5-1 ATS overall, 75% covering when laying the points. Meanwhile, Colorado State just 3-4 against the spread overall. They're covering just 33% of their games, catching the points. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Arkansas -7, getting the job done against the number. Next game, 2 more to go here. Loyola Marymount at Cal State Fullerton. Cal State opened the betting as the 3.5-point favorite, down to -2. Total open 135 and a hook, up to 137.5. Loyola is 6-1 to the under overall for the year, 4-0 to the under in their games on the road. Meanwhile, Cal State Fullerton, 3-3 to the under overall for the year, 4-1 to the under in their last 5 ball games. Not real concerned about the sides in this one. I do like a play on the total. Give me the under 137.5 in that one. And that's going to bring me to my next and final game for the show. It is going to be Weber State at Fresno State. Fresno opened the betting as the 7.5-point favorite. They're now -9.5. Total open 154, up to 156 and a hook. Fresno is 83% to the over overall for the year, 2-0 to the over in their couple of games at home. Meanwhile, Weber State, 3-2 to the over for the season themselves, 3-0 to the over after 4 or more days off. So tends to score a lot of points, see a lot of points in their games when they're well rested. So with all that said and done, not real concerned about a play on the sides, but I do like the over 156.5 in that one.